The Game drops a 10-minute diss song to Eminem. What up, world? It's your boy Charles Brown back again with another Talking Facts. Hit the like button, hit the subscribe, hit the notification bell. CLBMG all day, every day. So The Game dropped a 10-minute diss record, right? To Eminem, one of the greatest battle rappers to do battle rap, if you really know your history, right? And Game has dropped a record called, I believe it's called The Black Slim Shady. If I'm right or wrong, I do not know. But I believe that's what it's called, right? We all got the alerts on our phones. Somebody text you, somebody text your group chat, somebody sent you a link, or you were on your Twitter and you saw, why is The Game trending? Or why is it, or you saw it on Vlad TV. Some site posted this thing, right? And fell right into the trap laid by The Game. I fell into the trap. Well, actually, I'm gonna be honest with you. I didn't fall into the trap. I saw this thing's been months in the planning, right? This record's been months. He's been teasing it. He pulled it back. He did since the Super Bowl. We've been hearing about I'm a better rapper than Eminem. Then he chilled out for a little bit. I guess he got a call from, I don't know, I'm not gonna say Jimmy Iovine because they're not seeing eye to eye, but he got a call from somebody, chilled out, fell back from the I'm about to diss Eminem situation that he's going through. Then we hear it again. He goes on Drink Champs or something. I'm better than Eminem. You don't hear Eminem bumping in the hood, this and that. So this is what I want to say. I got a lot to say about this subject. Game has a new album called DRILLMATIC, and if anybody knows anything about The Game, the first thing Game's going to do, he has the playbook, and it's an old playbook, and it's actually kind of getting a little easy to detect that when he's about to drop an album, he has the old school playbook that he got to start something. It's every single time, every single Game release, there has to be something drawn up, whether it's months old, years old, like when he had the beef with Meek Mill. Out of nowhere, diss Meek Mill, and by the way, my album's coming out, right? He had a beef with Meek Mill that was already old. Meek was like, I just saw you in L.A. But he had a whole diss record for Meek Mill. This is a few years back, probably 5 years ago, I don't know. 5, 6 years ago. He had a whole diss record, the whole thing for Meek Mill. It was like, oh, no, bro, you this and that, da-da-da-da, right? But it's when the album about to drop. They coincide. He has something to say about whoever, when the albums are about to drop. And as hip-hop heads, right, older hip-hop heads at that, we've seen Nas and Jay-Z beef. We've seen Tupac and Biggie beef. We've seen LL Cool J and Ice-T beef. We've even seen back when Ice Cube and NWA, and you had to wait for Ice Cube's album to get that NWA beef. Now, did that Ice Cube record spark sales for that album? Yeah, some people, but most people was gonna get the album anyway. You were getting Ice Cube's album. Most people did not know No Vaseline was on that album till they heard it. Right? Ha, here's what they think about you. You knew it was coming, but you didn't know where it was coming from, what was going to happen. You got to the last song. Here's what they think about you. Here's what they think. Ice Cube sucking so much New York dick. Come eat some of this LA pussy. Here's what they think about you, right? Boom. We got one of the greatest, if not the greatest diss record ever on Ice Cube's album. He didn't build the album around this diss record. It was a quality album we were going to buy. The first video wasn't no diss record. The first single wasn't no diss record, right? But it raised his lore. It raised his stature in hip-hop to come back and diss these guys so viciously and so unequivocally that the battle was over. There was nothing NWA could say to Ice Cube at this point. He just talked about your lawyer. He talked about your deal, your contract. He made y'all out to be less manly, let's say that, right? Got him in every kind of way. And hip-hop revered him for it. These dudes had actual reason to be upset. Right? Even though we didn't know at the time that behind the scenes, they weren't that mad at each other. They used to talk to each other. We thought that these dudes was on site, was going to fight and try to kill each other. But all the while, these guys were still okay. They were the best of friends, but they were okay. They were talking. But on the record, it seemed like, oh my God, if Ice Cube ever sees these guys, it's gonna be a 187. You know what I'm saying? Like a tat 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 tat, right? Tat tat. Like, but it was they had a real problem, right? I believe MC Ren said on the record that NWA actually finally dissed Ice Cube, what everybody's waiting for. I think he said, "I'm gonna cut your jerry curl off and stick a broomstick up your ass." If I'm not mistaken, I believe that's what MC Ren told Ice Cube he was gonna do to him, right? This is real. You need to respond to this. This is a problem, right? Effing me, but I'd rather F you. Cube came back. We loved it at the time. Now here we are in 2022, where a man who's absolutely said nothing about you, where you would have been happily standing next to him at the Super Bowl, you would have waited your turn. You would have hung upside down like 50 Cent did to do your song. You know how we do. We in the club. This guy would have waited there. He would have went before Eminem or after, and whenever Jay would have said, okay, game, you gonna go right after 50 before M. He would have been like, bet. With the khakis on, doing the dance and that, he would have did it all. To be on that Super Bowl stage with Eminem, would have held his hand, did the bow down at the end, everything, right? So here we are with a 10-minute diss record about a man that you have zero problem with. Zero problem with this guy. And now you're going to spur on this diss record. It's been boiling for months that I'm a diss Eminem. And so, what's your problem with Eminem? Why are you so mad at Eminem? Oh, I'm not mad, but I'm a diss him. See, the thing is, Game understands the game. Game has a lawsuit with this female who now owns his record company and all of his material going forward until he pays her back. Right? For that show where whatever went on behind the scenes, we don't know what it was. But end of the day, this girl went to court. Game took it for a joke. The judge awarded her mad millions. So now anything Game drops has to go this girl first. This girl, she has to get a cut of it. And Game not getting out of it. He done exhausted all of his resources. So at this point, he needs to make this work. He's taking a playbook, a page out of Chris Brown's playbook. I'm not going to do 10 or 15. I'm going to do 30. He's releasing a 31-track album. It's not 30 like everybody's saying. It's 31. But there's a song with Nipsey on there that you can't play on certain devices. Like if you try to play it on Apple Music, you can't play that song. But it's there. It's just grayed out. I don't know how to play the song. I have to go somewhere else and look at it on maybe it's on Spotify or what have you. But end of the day, there's 31 songs on this album, right? And one of them is this 10-minute Eminem diss. So I want to talk about I want to talk about my opinion of the diss. I can only be honest with you. I made it 1 minute and 52 seconds into the diss, and I'm going to tell you why. And I'm going to listen to it one day, right? Because I'm going to listen to the entire album. I'm going to do an album review on my other page. I do album reviews on my other page. I'm going to listen to the whole 30 tracks. I'm going to try to get the Hit Nipsey one to hear all 30 tracks. And I believe it's going to be good. I believe Drillmatic is going to be a well-crafted piece of work. How do you do a set list in order with 31 tracks? How do you decide what's first, what's last? I have no idea. I would assume that you just throw it on shuffle, and as they come on, you write that and say that's the order. Because there's no real way to synchronize a 30 track. There's no real way to do that. To get it in the perfect order, the lineup, is no real. You could say whatever you want. But at some point by track 18, 19, you're just putting whatever you haven't put in there yet. I'm going to be honest with you. There's no way you sat and thought of the perfect placement for every single song out of 31, which means you made more than 30 tracks. So you had to make 50 tracks or more, 60 tracks. So you had to chop 60 down to 30, 31, and then put those 31 tracks in the perfect order, exactly where it should go. No, I don't think so. But the Chris Brown playbook is to put out mad tracks and then to give you mad more streams and it's mad more money. The diehard fans are going to let that whole thing play, all 30 tracks. They all going to go, and they're going to let them all go again. If it's 10 tracks, 9 tracks, you're only getting 9 streams. You got 30, you're getting 30 streams. There's mad more money involved with it. Now he can pay off this girl and move on with his life, right? So at the end of the day, this diss track, quote unquote, is to sell the album. I am in a world where now we are making fabricated diss records to sell albums. I thought we have advanced beyond this point. As a hip-hop fan, I am offended that you believe you can make me listen to your album because you make a diss about a guy you have no beef with. It's offensive. You want to be taken serious as a real hip-hop head, a real hip-hop artist. Yeah, you retired 2 albums ago. You said that, what was that album? What was it? It was some album. 2000 something, 2020 something. Some album, about 2 or 3 albums ago, that was the last album. It feels really great to be on my last album. I'm done with it. And I like the game. That's why it's so frustrating, right? Game is one of the nicest. He don't get the credit, but he gets the credit where he needs to get it is in the underground. But he don't get the credit for what he does with the pen because he'll pull a stunt like this. He could have did a track with Eminem and did a better and got more out of it than what he's getting with this. You know what's the funniest thing about this? I'm going to tell you what's the most hilarious thing. I got 1 minute and 52 seconds in because I went into the comments to read. The Eminem fans love the track. Which you would have thought the stands would have came out angrily. No, they love it. You know why? Because they're saying it's an homage. It's paying homage to Eminem. He's doing so much Eminem of an impression of Eminem, and he's telling you so much historical data about Eminem. They're like, this is a great stand. He's like a stand with this track. Eminem fans are looking at the game as a stand. They're looking at him as one of them because he has so much Eminem historical data and praise in the track. He threw a couple disses in there because he didn't want to look like he was riding this man's meat. Because he's talking about him so highly, to be honest with you, in my opinion. I didn't even listen to the track. I'm going by what the Eminem fans are saying in the comments. They're like, I'm an Eminem stan, but I absolutely love this track. How you make a diss record when his core base loves it? How do you make a diss record to a man that all it did was make his fans remember how great he is? And this is where we are in rap, when you make a pseudo diss to a man you clearly admire. You're saying you haven't listened to his album since the first album, but then you're talking about everything he's done after the first album. So you clearly are a fan. And I got one more thing to say, bro. The narrative of this, they don't bump this guy in the hood narrative, right? What are they bumping in the hood but trash? Let's be honest, bruh. Only lyrical people want to hear lyrical stuff. Most people in the hood not bumping anything lyrical right now. So the narrative that they're not bumping me in the hood when they're bumping everything but good rap right now, in my opinion, I wouldn't even get in a guy's car from the hood right now to hear what they're playing. They probably got some drill crap on or some goofy, commercialized, repetitive crap that don't sound like nothing, right? With very low lyrical value and an even lower IQ level to listen to the shit. So you keep saying, I don't hear Eminem in the barbershops. I don't hear him in the hood. What are they playing? What are they playing in the so-called hood, bro? I'm out here. Right? I'm out here. I listen to grown man stuff. You're a grown man. You keep talking about what the hood will and won't play. Eminem could go in the hood literally right now and do a free show without saying nobody, not telling nobody he's there. And as soon as he set up and start rapping, that thing gonna flood up. And them black people gonna know everything he's talking about. All he gotta do is his songs that from back in the day. He's good, bro. He got a song with Rihanna that the whole neighborhood gonna rock with. I don't understand this narrative that nobody, it's like a narrative that dudes wanna push just to say it, because it doesn't make it you're a better rapper. And to be honest with you, Game, they not really playing all that game in the hood either. I guarantee you, most of Game streams is coming from the suburbs. I promise you. I'm going to be 100% with you. So I don't know what his narrative is. They not bumping you in the hood. Well, they not bumping too much of Game no way either. Just to be honest with you. Yeah, the streets are going to play it, and then they're going to move on back to what they was listening to. That's why you're doing these gimmicks and these antics, dissing Eminem. If they not bumping them in the hood and you want to be a hood rapper, what's the purpose of dissing Eminem for? Make it make sense. If Eminem is not respected in the hood like you say, but you are. If you're respected in the hood and they're getting all this love in the hood, then what are you dissing him for? Diss somebody in the hood. Make it make sense to me. Go diss 21 Savage or something. It doesn't make any sense, bruh. This game doesn't need this. The people that was going to hear it regardless. You could have got an Eminem verse. Most likely he would have did it for free. You're like, Em, I need you. Right? Em, I need you. Dudes got to start standing on their laurels. And I don't know what this thing is, this big brother relationship with Dr. Dre, or like daddy issue thing going on. But it's he in, he out, he in, he out. Dre don't hug him enough. I don't know what's going on, but it's always something. It's always a problem. Every other year is something Dre didn't do. One minute you don't need Dre, then the next minute Dre ain't doing a beat. Like it's the most crazy thing. And again, I like Game. But Game feel left out of a lot of stuff, and he makes it known by lashing out. I'm going to listen to the 30 songs, and if I can hear the 31st one with Nipsey, I want to hear this. I was going to listen to it before I even knew it was an Eminem diss. I will do an album review on my other channel, and I will be honest. But I also almost guarantee the album is going to be great. It didn't need this. It did not need this. So what I want to say to Game, right? Game, we love you, bruh. We got you in history. You're in history. You go in the Hall of Fame regardless. You go in there. You go in. You're in, bruh. This is probably one of the first diss records in the history of rap that people are going to say, we don't know why he wrote it. We don't know why he did it. We have no idea what this means. And it was unnecessary. Game, I'm going to need you to figure out if you're going to do this on your own rapping, or are you going to keep throwing disses to people who not even trying to beef with you? And I'm going to even go a step further. I hope and pray that Eminem does not feed into this and write anything at all. I hope Eminem ignores you the way Drake ignored Joe Budden. Right? I want this to be the most embarrassingly unnecessary diss track in history. I don't want him to try to come back because he gives it validity. If he sits down and responds, now it's a valid diss, and all Game gonna do is come back with another song. And we right back here. I want this to die badly. Like when Common dissed Drake. One of the most embarrassing diss records ever. You're so sweet. I was embarrassed for Common. when he dissed Drake. It was over a chick. Maya Angelou said, I'm disappointed in Common. And he was disappointed in himself because he apologized to her for making a garbage diss record for no reason. And this is where we are. I haven't listened to this. It's track 24 on the album. And when I get to track 24, I'm going to let it play. But until then, I'm not playing this. I don't want to listen to hollow diss records. I want diss records that make sense. On that note, I'm going to catch y'all on the flip side, man. Hit the like button and subscribe. CLBMG.com. Go over there. We got new merch. We got new shows, new podcasts, all kind of stuff. Go check it out. I'm going to catch y'all on the flip side. Peace.
CLB.